Hello, hello, hello. You see my face? You see my smile? We gonna have a good time today. Hallelujah. This is Africa Global Radio. I'm sitting here at Africa Global Radio Studio. I got to tell you where I am. This is our story, our growth, our future. And I'm here at the Black OurStory Podcast. I'm Sherrie Thompson. Did I tell you that part already? My guest is the controversial Lance Scurv. Yeah, okay, yes, you are controversial. Yeah, he's controversial. And we're going to have a good time.
Yes, we are.
Yep. Let me say this. Lance, I don't even know where to start with you. Let me start about your time in Ghana. What brought you to Ghana? Let's start there first.
Well, I arrived at first April 25th, 2019. And I felt at home. Yes.
Ooh.
And I left
you
on...
You believed the hype and came over.
Oh, no, I research. Hype doesn't get me.
Oh, okay.
I am hype. I make hype.
There you go.
So, therefore, things that people fall for that's hype, I researched it already. So I came here just as cool and calm.
No drama?
No drama.
So what got you to stay?
When I was about to leave, right, I got mad. I said, I don't want to go back. This was a visit, but I felt so much at home that home didn't feel like home anymore. And people ask me, they say, well, you ran from America. You should have stayed here and fought. What fight? You can only fight.
At our age, we can't be fighting.
Speak for yourself. I still got a lot of juice in my fruit. You're a little bit ahead of me, but I'm right behind you.
Okay.
Right?
He my little brother.
Yeah.
From another mother.
I'm not your little brother. You're a big brother. Look at the size of my head.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. We're not going to talk about your head right now. Okay.
Where's a hat? Anybody have a hat? No, but when I felt we were going back, and I just felt this feeling because I had acclimated myself so easily here. And it was a certain feeling that I never had in America. Honestly. There's advantages for being here, but it wasn't just that. It was that feel that I always sought but never felt. Because I had been through a lot in America. Me being who I am, looking like I do, there's common stories that many of us have in America.
Yeah.
And then when you're not somebody who fits the role of a stereotype, you're more of a threat. So therefore, I had more chastisement, more discouragement, but I've overcome everything. But who wants to fight all the time?
Yeah.
And it's not where I think this way all the time. It's the subtle things. It's the glass ceilings. It's so
glass ceiling.
Right.
They gave me one of those.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I was ready. I'm busting through, and then all of a sudden, poof.
So,
you know,
it's not the land, it's not the people, or rather my people, but it's the system, the way it's set up. You can't truly live. You're alive, but you can't truly live. So for me, when I came here, many of my Ghanaian brothers and sisters, which now yesterday I got my Ghana card, last week I got my citizenship.
He's so excited.
And my passport, but I probably won't need it because I probably never leave here again to travel for where.
No, we're going to go to other African nations. Come on.
Yeah, but this is home. Let me enjoy home for a little bit.
Let's do Namibia. They got a new woman president.
Oh, really? That's great.
You like that,
That's great.
Yeah,
of course I do.
I know.
Let me meet her so I charm her, make her feel good. But the thing is, when I think about America, I speak of it now like a person who had a prison sentence. They said, well, I did 35 years in Sing Sing. I did 55 years. And so I say, man, I did almost 60 years in America. I've been here for 4 years. Actually, 50 months I've been living here. I got it down to the month because I'm so joyous that I can sleep deeper. I can eat food that's not GMO. I don't have to worry about the cops beating me up like they did in 1989, 11 of them. No gunshots, no this, no that. Yeah, we can talk about that too.
Oh.
Yeah, I had a lot of things happen. But it didn't make me crazy. Oh, 11 of them.
On you?
On me, just on me.
What year?
January 26, 1989. The winter time.
Oh, you beat them up. Because you had body back then.
But see, that's the reason why they wanted to provoke me to do that. They just pulled me over. I had a brand new car. I had some friends of mine in the car. It was technically a bad neighborhood, but it wasn't a bad neighborhood. See, this is the thing. When you grow up, elementary school, junior high school, you have friends that you know, right? Some make decisions to go on this side of the tracks. Some do good and obey the law, but you still know them. Even the people they say are thugs and low lives or they're not doing good, they still remember when your mother fed them cookies and milk, the times at home. So you still have endearment to them. And they know you don't do the things that they do. But I'm driving through that neighborhood because a particular friend, his mother wanted to have something to cook for breakfast. We were hanging out in their basement. So my car was the last one in the driveway. So I said, come on, I'll take you. So we didn't want to go to the big supermarket. We went to the local one. Down. Yeah, but not, my neighborhood was really good, but a few blocks over, it's different. But we knew who was walking the streets. We knew who was selling drugs. It didn't scare us. The police are scared. So when they saw my brand new car, they see me buff and strong. They said, wait a second, this guy must be into something because he's not strung out on drugs. And that's not the kind of
bodybuilder.
Well, back then I was. You know. I build my belly now, eating a lot of food.
You eating a lot of fufu?
Well, not food. No, not really. Not really.
What you eating?
I can't tell you.
Okay.
Anyway.
He's just kidding.
But anyway, we got pulled over. They said I was driving with no insurance. I just bought the car, traded my other vehicle in, and I let that insurance lapse. I'll make this quick. Then they said resisting arrest. It wasn't that way. They asked me to get out of the car. I got out of the car. The guy took my head and slammed at the top of the car. Yeah. He was later fired for something else because he was a hothead cop. And it escalated. I'm standing there. I put my hands behind my back and I said, listen, why are you arresting me? They said, yeah. I said, for what? More cop cars come. 9 more cops come. They just jump on me. Now, legend has it that I got up with 3 or 4 of them on my back, but I didn't hit anybody. Now, this is the worst part, and I'll just move on from that. They dragged me to the back of the car, face down, in the chokehold that has killed many people, but thank God my neck was very strong at the time. My neck is shrimpy now. Punched me in the face. I mean, I'm in a chokehold. I could several times, 3 minutes worth. Ooh. Hard. They're grabbing me between my legs. I'm face down on the back of the car. I mean, they were squeezing. And I had my hands behind my back. They were twisting my thumbs up. So we had this going on, getting hit, choked, squeezed between my legs, which is painful. And the hands. And after a while, my eyes were closed, you know. And they locked me up. And I don't have a record. I've never done anything. But they locked me up and said that I assaulted the officers.
11 of them.
If I did, they wouldn't be here right now.
Wow.
But what I'm saying is that they dropped the charges, right? They knew that I had a clean background, good family. Mother taught at the college. My father had his own business. And they wanted to get rid of that. And they did. They said, listen, we got to offer you a year, not probation, but probation. They wanted to because they messed up. They had to give me something. They said, if you don't get in any trouble, we're going to drop the charges. The reason why I took that is because my father was very sick. And I knew he didn't have much time. Because if I took it to court and lost, that was automatically 3.5 years for the fake charges. Yeah. That's life in America, y'all. Yeah. That may not be everybody's experience, but most people I know that look like me have a story. But that doesn't define me because I was never that. I'm the best person you want to live next door to. I live clean. I don't do drugs. I don't do alcohol. I don't steal. I don't do anything like that. I'm an introvert and I'm an extrovert. I love staying to myself, creating and doing my work online. And when it comes time to make people laugh and get out, as you all know, I can do that too.
So I remember the first time I met you, you said you had a podcast. And
I remember that.
You know, but when you got to Ghana, because the podcasts back in America were deep. When you got to Ghana, you're like, smelling the roses.
Yes.
Talking about the anthill.
Yes.
Because the anthill was it's termites, isn't it?
Yeah. It's not ants. I found out that it's termites.
Termites.
Yeah.
And so he was like into the termites. I said, ooh, this is not what's something happened here. Okay. Tell us about the transformation. What's different about you?
It's not, I'll compare it this way. It's like a tree that was in your yard when you grew up, let's say it's 30 years ago, 40 years ago, but I know for you it's probably like 10 years, as young as you are.
He is such a charmer.
But you go away from that neighborhood and you come back on a visit. Some people have transitioned. Some people are still there, but they're older, little kids are grown now. And then you go back to your yard and you look at your tree and you say, that's not the same tree. It's so much bigger. I used to climb this tree. Now it has all of these branches on it. It's the same tree, but there's many more branches on it. So with me, I'm the same old guy, but Ghana has afforded me not only to say I'm a citizen in another country, but it's allowed me to go deeper into myself because there's not as many distractions. This is an atmosphere that will allow you to find yourself. Now, pretty much I know who I am. I don't have to find myself, but it's almost like enjoying yourself at home, unfortunately, when you're sick, that you work so much and now you're sitting at home in a part of the room that you're not used to, sipping tea. You say, man, I'm really enjoying myself, but I'm sick. Why does it have to be this way? That's America. But here, I can do what I want. I'm free, and I don't have to be sick. I don't have to be in a toxic environment.
Yeah.
Many Ghanaians, which I can say, I'm Ghanaian now, right? But many who were born and raised, native born, they don't know what they have. They don't know what they have. Yes, we have challenges. I hate to say the word problems.
No, it's challenges.
Yeah. We have challenges here also. The economy, different things. But the perception is because of social media, and I will blame social media because that's a double-edged sword, that they think that everything is America, everything is UK, because it's presented that way.
They have a good PR firm. America has a good public relations firm. It's called CNN. It's called, Fox News. It's called everything. Their media knows how. It's powerful. BBC, the UK, very powerful.
Yes.
We have Africa Global Radio. We're coming to be powerful. We're going to be powerful.
Yeah.
We're telling our story, our growth, our future. That's what we need to do, which is why I have the Black Our Story Festival. It's not Black History Month for me. It's Black Our Story Month.
That's right.
Because we're not talking about ourselves. We're allowing ourselves to be erased.
That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing.
Some of your stuff has been...
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'll tell you about
your podcast.
Yeah, no.
Some of your stuff has been...
Some?
Okay, a lot of his stuff has been deleted from YouTube.
I can tell you a lot about those battles. But see, now people understand what's going on. Other people, I'll be nice today, want to control our narrative.
Yeah.
This is why shows like this, platforms like this, are very important.
Very powerful.
But see, we are consumers, most of us. I'm not saying Ghanaians or just Americans but we have learned that we don't know it, but we're consumers. We get on and we see, and we allow this thing to influence us.
And program us.
Yes, but then those who are doing the programming utilize our energy. They watch our trends. They watch our fashion. They watch our swag, which that may be an old word, right? But you know what I mean. They watch us and flip it on us and control us.
Yeah.
And they put in who they want to have put in, who will sell themselves out to be that influencer, because the social media game, I'm going to tell you, is not all cracked up to what it's supposed to be. I know this. You have certain influencers who are gifted and granted lots of followers, right? But they didn't earn it. But now when we see that, they have so many likes, they have so many followers, we think that it's a good thing. But I'll tell you what happened to me. I was hacked into. The email address that I used, connected to my YouTube channel, they infiltrated it and wiped it all out. It's almost 6,000 videos, hours and hours long. I mean, high up near 6,000. All of them. But I had ways of getting a lot of it back, and some I don't even want back. I had some very, what you would say, controversial, but I speak to everyone and I let them talk and tell their story. No matter what it is, no matter what lifestyle, no matter what their background is, no matter what they have to say, I let them talk, whether I agree or not, because they're not going to do that. And when I ended up on CNN that time, if you saw that clip, when I was on Dr. Drew, because a brother I had interviewed, had deleted, I'll say it that way, because that's how we have to speak now, 3 police officers that one Sunday. In 3 weeks, I had him on my show. But I've been speaking to him for a long time. The brother was brilliant, but he was in the service, and he had PTSD. He had a lot of issues.
What's PTSD?
Post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah.
You don't have to be in the military or have gone to war for that.
I'm about ready to have it myself.
Well, if I had it in America, trust me.
There you go.
You know, and God is the best place to relieve yourself of all of those stresses. It is so peaceful here. It is so loving here. There are feelings here that I felt that I never felt in America. I just have to say that. And I'm not amping it up because I've been through some rough stuff. And growing up, born and raised in New York City the majority of my life, I've seen it all.
We are New Yorkers.
I didn't do it all, but I saw it all.
What part of New York do you come from?
I was born in Manhattan and raised in Queens.
Okay, I was born in Queens and raised in Queens. So I'm a Queens girl.
Wait, what part of Queens?
Cambria Heights.
Cambria Heights?
Yeah.
Oh, you over that nice side over there.
Yeah, that nice side.
Trust me, I know a lot of people over there.
We was the nice people. Yeah.
Wow.
Just before we got to Nassau County and the Nassau County Police. Okay.
They didn't want anybody coming over there.
No, they don't want nobody. Not our color.
Yeah. So I was born in Washington Heights, Manhattan, New York, right across the street from where Malcolm X was assassinated. And when he was assassinated, I was probably a mile away as a child from when that happened. So that movement, that mindset, that mentality, that root is my root. Because even though I was born in 63 and he was assassinated in 65, it's told to me that I actually heard his voice when I was in a stroller when he used to speak on 125th Street, right? And when these things happen, it flavors the era that Martin Luther King, Robert F. Kennedy, and all this stuff. So my parents were very conscious. Anything I do and anytime I speak on anything that I've done, I have to speak about them. My mother was a graduate of, God, I'm having a brain fart right here.
Have you ever heard of a brain fart? Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
The School of Music.
Juilliard?
Yeah, Juilliard, the School of Music. I have 5 tracks in my mind. And we're going to start this interview now. This is where we start shifting gears, right? And so I was exposed to a lot. I was exposed to opera. She sung every weekend. She sung different places.
Your mom sang opera?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
We're going to continue with his mom another time.
Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah, I'm just trying to say my influences.
Yeah.
My father had his own business. He did so many different things in his life, but he was one of the few people who can refinish the landmark floors and landmark properties because you had to be licensed to do that. You had to be very skilled to do so. Both of those worlds, and they stayed together. But on the weekends, I would go with one or the other because they had their own activities. But I was always exposed to, when I say affluent, it wasn't just about money, but people who had a high mind and they were deep into things. So my upbringing...
A different type of wealth.
Exactly. And they all embraced me. Different races, different types. But I knew about the racism, but it didn't hit me until I started to get muscles, until I started to get bigger, more so. And there were a lot of things that in my life I went through, but I'm not a victim. I'm an overcomer. I'm built to be strong, and I'm not going to stop, whatever I do. I'm never discouraged. And I just want people to know that no matter what you go through, you can create your own reality. You can create your own life. We don't have to accept what illusions are put on us or imaginary boundaries. Whatever you want to be, you can be. You have the seeds of greatness in you, and God. And saying God these days on social media is almost like a bad word. But somebody created us. We didn't make the mangoes and the watermelons and the avocados and the sun coming up. We were brought into this. So there is a supreme being, no matter what you want to call it. But he didn't make us to be nothing. He didn't make us to be less. There's some factions in the world that want us to feel that way, with the indoctrination
that we are less.
That we are less, that we must be subservient. No.
American Constitution, 3/5 of a human being.
Exactly.
If they really wanted to change that, they wouldn't have put an amendment. They would have rewritten the Constitution.
Right, where you have to keep going back all the time.
Right.
Yeah. But
if you want to
change
something, you got to rewrite it.
You say to
can't just
yourself,
amend it.
you say to yourself, I'm 3 times a human being.
That's right.
I am not humankind. I'm not a kind of human. I'm the original human. I'm speaking coded this way.
Oh, yes.
Human could be spelled, if you want to misspell it or spell it, HUE-MAN. Think about that.
Ha! Human.
That's right.
Wow. I'm going to end on that this minute. This is Africa Global Radio, our story, our growth, our future. And this is the Black Our Story Podcast. I don't know. Maybe it be your podcast, Lance, in a minute.
Well, this is my
We're
family.
We're coming back.
This is my family, so it is.
We're coming back.
Right.
So, Lance, what occupies your time? I know there's some hours you do sleep, but what occupies all the rest of the time?
Well,
what are you doing in Ghana?
Well, Ghana, as I said before, has helped me to really get to know the inner recesses of myself without distraction. Not to get off the subject, but to make this quick. In America, you get up, you go to work. You leave the job, you go to the next job. You go home tired. You don't even see your family. You visit home, but the job is your home. When you have your days off, you're doing work, you almost have to make an appointment to be with your family members. You might see them 3 o'clock in the morning in the bathroom. Saturday we can do something together. Well, that's gone for me, and I am retired. So people say, well, how do you sustain yourself? I'm retired. And next year I get my Social Security, which will make it better. But I don't sit down just to sit down and do nothing. So for me, there's books that are coming. There's a lot of creativity because remember, I'm not just a YouTube talking head. I write, I blog every day. I write articles on things that most people don't like to talk about, but we have to face the truth on so many things. And if you don't agree, fine. Let's have those discussions so we can grow. I'm an artist. I started out online as an artist. I'm a political illustrator. I draw illustrations, not bowls of fruit and pretty little trees, but things that on a social level will make us think, even without words. That's the best. You can't argue with a picture. All my artwork is on LANCESCURV.com. So this occupies my time, and in actuality, slowing down in certain levels. Because if I'm going to preserve myself to be 80 and 90 and 100, what you do now shows up on you 10 and 20 years from now. So when you were shocked to find out how old I was or how young I was, right? The bottom line is that it's because of what I've always done, how I think, how I deal with obstacles. So now I'm free and clear. My time is free. I want to create. That's what I do. And I just take my time and absorb nature, align myself with nature. Because when you align yourself with nature, AKA God, trust me, nothing can stop you. Look at this. If I hold up a piece of toilet tissue and say to punch the toilet tissue, right? Punch through it easy. But if I hold it up in front of a brick wall, right, and tell you to punch it, you're going to break your hand. Why? Was the toilet paper that tough? No. It's because the wall that was behind it. So the wall that's behind me is the creator and what his mission is for my life, whether I'm seen or not seen, but never obscene, right? So this is the thing we do. That's how my life is. When I wake up, I have my intentions of what I want to create, what project I'm working on, and still we're finishing up some construction in the studio. But sometimes I hear that download, and I'm open for it. I'm not so full of myself where I think I'm the best person to author and guide my life. I'm not going to hear an actual voice, but I get a feeling. No, I'm not going to go to a crowd today. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to do this or do that. I listen to that, and that has kept me and preserved me growing up in New York City, where so many of my friends are not here anymore. And I've never lived a rough life. When you hear New York, most people think, oh yeah, it's a rough. No. I've been around a lot of rough things, but I was a good kid. In actuality, I was a nerd growing up that learned how to be tough and get some muscles. But these days here, it's a time of reflection and a time of subservience. I want to serve. I want to share Ghana with the world properly, from not just taking pictures and videos in front of tourist attractions and making myself look good at certain nightclubs. No, I want to get in the streets with the people. I want to interview the common man and woman. I want to go to the restaurants. I want to go to the politicians. I want to go to anybody who has something worthwhile to say. So this is the thing. You can put my phone number out there too, my WhatsApp number. It's out there already. Can I say it? 407-590-0755. If you have something you want to say without any censorship, as long as we keep it decent, you call me, I'm there, we're going to do it. See? This is what I do, and this is how you know me from before they took those videos away.
That's right.
But this time they won't do it because I got something for them.
Yep. Called storage.
Yes, exactly.
Guys, this is amazing. Yeah, we will have Lance back because there is so much of our story that he has for us.
That's right.
We're back. Yes. This is the Black OurStory Podcast. I'm Sherrie Thompson, and this is Lance Scurv. Woo! I can't even understand why it feels like we only been here for 2 minutes.
It's energy.
It's energy?
It's energy.
Yeah.
See, when you're focused on something that you really love, and I know you love me, sister.
I do.
And I love you too.
I do.
But when the conversation is right, and it feeds you, mentally, spiritually, and physically. See, food is not the only way of nourishing ourselves. The world is so hungry for something that's truth. The world is so hungry for something that's worthwhile. You see, children can reflect to you whether they like something or not. It's not about like, but when you say something and that's truthful, it captivates them.
Yeah.
They follow behind you. They look at you. You're different than everybody else. But if you tell them a lie, make a promise you don't keep, after a while they blow you off.
Yeah, because you're just like everybody else.
Yes, and see, in this day and age, there's so much falsehoods, and we are hungry for the truth. I'm not saying I'm the truth, but what little truth I know, I'm going to reflect it, right? I don't know everything specifically. I'm not a scientist, but I tell you this thing. Experience has always taught me. My parents gave me a good foundation on the gift of discernment, spiritual warfare. Yeah. These things are real no matter what religion you say that you believe in. These are universal things. You go to a different country, they will say an automobile under a different name, right? You have a piece of chicken, you want chicken. They call it different things, but it's the same thing. So the spiritual energy that we have, especially collectively, is so powerful because this is the way we're made to act with each other. That's why it's so important for those spin masters, for those people who create the narrative, the false narrative, the illusion to have us against each other, to have folks who are born in America who originated from Africa to say, I'm not African. I don't have anything to do with that place, with the mud huts, with the tigers and lions running around, and they're hungry with flies. How could you believe something like that?
That narrative gave us a whole long view that was absolute lie. And it was basically the narrative that they had of Ethiopia, the famine in Ethiopia, and they took all those pictures and the charity music and all of this, feed the world. But
Africa, our Kebulon, feeds the world.
We feed the world.
We're the breadbasket of the planet.
There you go.
And they make it smaller on the map. It's huge. You can take America, UK, Iceland, Russia, and still have... Look, you can take everybody on the planet and put them on the continent, and they still will hardly see their neighbor. But they have these commercials at night. Give your money to CARE or whoever it was, and you see the skinny kids with the ribs sticking out and the flies around them.
Flies in the eyes.
And this allows some people who have their guilt to feel as though they can relieve their guilt so they can donate a little money when they know what has gone on behind the scenes for real life. Anywhere in the motherland where you see there's hunger, somebody came and caused those conditions. There may have been a tribal disagreement, right? But somebody comes in and gives weapons to one side and says, listen, we got your back. Then later on, they go to the other side and watch them get rid of each other. to step in
so that they can
to get the resources and look like the hero.
That's right.
You see what I mean?
That's right.
So we're here looking at BBC, CNN, Fox, believing it and going against our own. But we're a global people. Look, if you have brothers and sisters, think about where you grew up. If they move to another city, if they move to another part of the city, another state, another country, aren't they still related to you?
We're still related.
But why is it that we have more division? And
because
it's perpetrated.
Because of where we moved to.
In cyberspace, it's perpetrated. Oh, well, you're from South America. You can't be one of us. You can't. We are the oldest people on the planet. That is a fact. That is a scientific fact. But they'll never tell you that in school. In the schools of indoctrination, they'll never tell you that. So we walk around with all of these falsehoods. In America, you have FBA, and you have ADOS, and you have the indigenous folks. Well, look, the whole planet is Africa. So wherever you see ourselves, that's our family. Don't you know? I go down to Accra Mall, I go down to Medina, I go to the beach, I go anywhere here, and I always see somebody like, wait a second. I'll even call out to them, thinking of somebody that I knew from back in America. But the spirit that they have and how I get along, because I don't come with the toxicity. I don't come with this illusion. I was built this way from the very beginning, because you would never hear me say something like that. Never, ever, because I was taught. And that's why we have to teach our children the right way and stop giving our children to the schools to develop their minds.
And stop giving them social media.
No, see,
they can't have social media until maybe they're 14 years old.
But you have to sit with them.
You have to sit down.
No, you have to sit with them with social media.
And train them up in the way they should go.
But you got to understand that even there's some grown folks that can't handle social media now. I was born in 1963. I didn't know anything about social media. I got into this thing relatively late, which was the last 24 years, but still, I was already developed. But it's still very much an intoxicant. It can pull you by feeding you things of what you wished and wanted to do. You know, it gasses you up. Let's just say there might be a woman who was married and she raised a family, and her husband passed away, and she was never out there. But now she puts a Facebook page on to talk to her girlfriends and family members, but somebody sneaks up and gives her a compliment. Another one gives a compliment. Slowly but surely, things in her the tensions that she never had before, it intoxicates her. And now she has a secret life now. We'll say it that way. Social media can wreck up anybody, but it's like the fire in your home. It can keep you warm
or it can
on a cold night. It can cook your food. But if you let it get out of control, it'll burn your house down.
Burn the house down.
So that's why I say it's a double-edged sword. It's very powerful. You don't need libraries anymore. All you need is your smartphone. You have all the information up to date. But that's very dangerous, because when you tell your son or your daughter, you're on punishment, go in your room, they're laughing at you because they're on social media talking to their friends on the camera, doing all kind of things, and indoctrinating themselves because they go right to the negative stuff. Show them the world. My father, from when I was 7, 8 years old, in New York City, he took me to the dope houses. He took me to the numbers spots. He took me to, I don't want to say that.
Your dad played numbers too?
No, but he didn't play numbers. We know.
Oh, my dad played numbers.
It's a culture thing.
It's a culture thing, really.
But he took me to where the ladies had company with some of the men. Did he want to taint me? No. He told me reality. So in years to come, if I was curious about something, there was no curiosity because I knew what it was. That's why we need to be brutally honest, because the children can take more than we think. With our little children, go. Stop that. Talk to them like adults. I mean, show them love and embrace them, and always do that.
Talk to them like they can have a conversation with you.
Because you know what? If you don't give them the love and the tough love at the same time, a balance of both, they're going to seek love by going out there and joining a gang. The young lady is going to go out there and seek love with some older guy who wants to use them for something more than what they told them. We can't have our children in this world have voids. We're the first school. Even when they're learning in school certain facts, we got to stay on top of that also. We have to give the heart and soul of their education, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. We got to go back to that. Now, the world is so-called politically correct. What do you mean politically correct? It's politically incorrect. The things they're teaching in the school, I'm not going to say what it is. You know it. You got sense, right? So
I'll say it. Listen, I am not going to call any one person they. As far as I'm concerned, you're either he or she. Now, if I offend you by saying he and you're a she, sorry, I knew you before all of that. And now you want me to call you they because you're identifying as like 2 or 3 people? It's not happening.
Spiritual warfare.
That's exactly what it is.
That's a
wickedness.
precursor.
Yeah.
Disrupt everything
You want to
natural.
identify as a dog and you want me to bark at you? It's not happening. We're not doing that. Okay? That part.
Mental sickness.
Mental sickness.
Induced. To keep us from going to the highest level that we are supposed to go. When we are born.
Confusion.
Yeah, but when we are born, we're supposed to ascend. No matter when we transition. I have friends of mine who never saw 15 years old. You know what I mean?
Yes,
I'm almost like a soul survivor. I mean, I have good friends
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I have about 10 good friends. We talk every day, and they all know each other in the neighborhood, right? I have that, but that's a reflection of the community that I came from. We talk all the time. We're in communication. Many of the children these days, they're fractured in their family life. No stability. They're seeing things at home they're not supposed to see. They're seeing things online in the community they're not supposed to see. And you say if I speak against that, something that disrupts the children, that I'm politically incorrect? No, you have to speak on it. If you go to the doctor and you feel a pain and there's a diagnosis eventually, but you can't deny that.
Yeah.
You can't say, well, the doctor told me I had this ailment, but I'm going to ignore it. You ignore it, that's a recipe for disaster, and that's why the society is the way it is now.
That's it.
I got so much more to say, and I know that we are.
Ghana. Have you had any interaction with the education system?
My interaction with the education system has been with the individuals who are part of the education system.
Okay.
And I can't really say anything bad or unexpected about those individuals who are fine individuals. They have good intentions, but many have been misled because they're trained to fit into a system that will not serve them. Here in Ghana, we have a dominant look, but are we the ones really in control? Right? So we have to think.
What do you mean by that?
We're compromised. In Africa overall, we are compromised. Look, you go to Palace Supermarket, I don't know if y'all can say that, or you go to many of the major retail stores. And when I first came here, I said, wow, this is wonderful. Look, all of my brothers and sisters are here working. This is nice, this is good, this is what I want to see. But there are people who will hire them and sit in the back, counting up the money, while they work for next to nothing. And I noticed, I said, wait a second.
Something wrong with that.
No, but not just that, but a lot of the people they're on their phones, 3 and 4 people in the aisle not working. They're not paying them anything. Because, see, our standards have become so low. I'm not spanking us here in Ghana. I'm spanking the whole world now. Why is it that we aspire just to have the latest iPhone? And once we get it, we feel as though we're something.
Status.
Just like a high school kid who gets a brand new car or a used car, and all the other classmates don't have it. So now, status. Your status should be in your integrity. Your status should be in your education, in your knowledge, in your ascension spiritually, how you treat your fellow man. That's where you should get your from. But now it's all superficial. So now when those things don't work, because you get a car now, I have the brand new latest Lexus. Well, 2 years from now, they're going to come out with the next one. And you're at the red light now, looking at the next one new, and you feel like yours is old. When does it end? Because the day you die, there's going to be a new car. There's going to be a prettier woman. There's going to be
all of that.
Yeah.
All of that.
So make yourself the best way that you can be.
Inside.
So when you transition, you present a better self. So your creator can say, job well done.
Well done, good and faithful servant. You fought a good fight. You finished the course. You kept the faith.
That's right.
It.
No matter how many scars you catch, no matter how many times you get knocked down, you keep getting up. No matter how many times you can't say, well, why is this happening to me? Because maybe you have the wherewithal and the seeds of greatness, of strength, and power to overcome that, to be an example to somebody else who may feel weaker. So the things I've been through, Friends of mine said, Lance, you should have been crazy from 30 years ago, the stuff you've been through. I like that because I'm not crazy. That's a confirmation that I'm strong. I get off on that I'm strong, not because of me, but because of what my Creator put inside of me.
Amen.
And we're not going to get that from this system of materialism and fake status and likes. And no, love
And
yourself,
followers.
like yourself, and followers.
Can't do it.
That's the lingo we talk, and I have that, but that's not my goal. I don't care if there's 2 people watching my shows. I did one this morning before I came here, right? I'm going to go home tonight and do some more. If I go home tonight, I may stay up all night and stay out here in the crowd. I don't know. But the bottom line is, be at peace with yourself. Know yourself. You're not going to know yourself looking outward and trying to match up. Well, they're wearing this hairstyle. I got to do it. No, be unique. There's only one you. Be the best you, and nobody else in the whole world can be you. There's a song years ago by Steve Harrington, nobody can be you but you. Why do you want to be somebody else? Why do you want to be a knockoff? You don't want to buy the knockoff handbag, so why be the knockoff you?
Wow. This is the Black Our Story podcast, and it's not a knockoff. We are telling our story here, right now.
That's right.
At Africa Global Radio. Our story, our growth, our future. Woo! I don't know. I think I got to stop here because I could be here 3 hours, 4 hours.
It's fine with me.
I got to go home.
I know. Just invite me back and I'll be back.
We'll be back.
Could you say my website? Or
Go ahead and do that.
or social media?
Absolutely.
My YouTube channel is The Lance Scurv Show. My website is Lance Scurv, LANCESCURV.com. I almost have a quarter of a century worth of work there, articles, videos, writing. And we missed a whole lot of things we were supposed to talk about anyway, but that's okay.
We're coming back. I mean,
Whenever, just let me know.
We'll do it.
We'll do a 3-hour special.
And I'm coming on your show.
Of course you are.
Yay!
In my studio. Yes, you are. And I want you all to be
and
here
the
too.
studio. And they.
And when,
y'all, okay.
And I want you all to be there. I want you all to do your shows from there also. This is how we're supposed to work.
Live and in color at Lance's studio.
With good food.
Ooh,
You won't want to leave.
You're going to have food.
What? Of course I am.
Ooh.
Gourmet food there.
Uh-oh, we got the the
don't have
crew
to leave.
here. We got the crew here. They're ready.
You come, we do a weekend. Give you each a room. You have your room. You have food. You
He's
come
got
down
3 floors. Amen. Listen, guys, I got to go. But we have had a great time with Lance, and we're going to do it again. We've got to do it again. I love you people. Mwah! See ya.
Much love.